same ceremony sponsored by Dell Magazines as the John W. Campbell Award for Best New Writer. And for the last several years, there have always been far more than on a per capita basis you would suspect there to be Canadians on that ballot. We have 2 Canadians on the ballot this year. Both of them are very praiseworthy writers. One is Tony Pai, like the Greek letter Pi. Tony Pai, who is a linguist, and the other is Gord Sulla, who is actually teaches English in Korea currently, but he is from Canada. Gord is known for his work in Asimov's and places like that. Tony Pai are Writers of the Future finalist, and in places like Abyss and Apex. Both of them excellent writers. One more little preen, Tony is my writing student as well. But these are 2 names very well worth seeing. Tony Pai and Gord, or Gordon Sellar, S-E-L-L-A-R. Very much worthy of your attention. And obviously having garnered considerable respect on the world stage. I'll point out that for both of them, for the Campbell Award, you were eligible for 2 years. This is their 2nd year of eligibility, which means their presence on the ballot this year may, in fact, have a lot of Canadians voting this year, but we sure as hell weren't voting in disproportionate numbers last year. Both of them landed on the Campbell ballot last year as well, when the awards were being given in Denver, and it was the people who went to Denver and Yokohama who were putting people on the ballot, and these guys still triumphed enough to be there last year. 2 excellent names to watch.
I'm going to mention Matthew Johnson. Matthew, I can't say I've read his novel because it was only launched last night at the same time as my new book was, Steel Whispers. But Matthew, I read the first chapter because that was available, and Matthew's been published a couple times in Asimov's. And I really trust my publisher and editor, because she obviously has good taste since she bought 2 of my books. So I would suggest you pick up Matthew Johnson's book, Fall from Earth. And it's a far future a novel where a galactic empire, there's been rebellion, and leaders of the rebellion have been exiled to the planet, and yet are continuing to resist, and much of it is based in some philosophical explorations that Matthew's done in Chinese philosophy. So I recommend that book to you.
I am so damn proud, I keep saying this. Matthew was my writing student at the University of Toronto. And what's interesting about Matthew, yes, everything Hayden said is exactly right. And it is a far future spaceships and aliens book, which is not a subgenre normally associated, or necessarily associated, with a consummate prose stylist. But Matt Johnson is also a consummate prose stylist. This is worth reading for the beauty of the language, as well as for the mind-expanding, hard SF ideas and philosophical notions that Matt brings to his work. Matthew Johnson, again, Door and Press. When you go pick up the 2 Hayden Trenholmes tomorrow, to the left-hand side of the edge table, also pick up Matthew Johnson's book, which is called
Fall from Earth.
That's right. It's called Fall from Earth. Fall, F-A-L-L, from Earth.
What's the publisher again?
Bundoran Press, B-U-N-D-O-R-A-N. The publisher is of Irish descent, but Doran is a village in Ireland. Bundoran Press.
I'm just going to put in a little plug for the importance of good writing groups. Most of us, I think everyone here at this table, has or currently belongs to a writing group. I've had the good fortune to belong to 2 writing groups, one in Calgary that Rob already mentioned, IFWA, and a writing group now in Ottawa, which we just came up while we were drinking last night. We came up with the name East Block Irregulars. See, I work in the East Block of Parliament Hill. So anyway,
I have to protest because I gave them 2 really good names that they refused to use. They're all based in Ottawa, which is the nation's capital. So I thought they should be called the Capital Letters.
Turns out there was a poetry group named that already.
And then because they were, now, I know they didn't want this one, but because they were all aspirant writers and they all lived in the city of Ottawa, I thought they could be the Ottawannabes. No, but they're the East Block.
East Block,
right? It sounds like you're a communist, right?
You don't know what goes on in
That's right. So anyway, and besides which, the reason we rejected wannabes is because we all been professionally published. So I think these are all people. Derek Klimskin, I've already mentioned, Peter Atwood, Matt Moore, and Marie Bilodeau, and the lovely Elizabeth Rushforth-Kremlin. Just went.
And she is lovely. And Marie is lovely, too.
And Marie's
And you know what? That's pretty. I'm flamingly heterosexual, but even I can see that guy's pretty fun.
That's that group, and they're...
Or Derek is who I meant to say. Derek.
Derek, I know. Derek has got that intense German thing going.
He's got all that.
Anyway, now we're starting to, it's obviously getting late, and we've all been up for a couple of days. And just from IFWA, I think there's some other writers there. Renee Bennett, I think, is a very good writer. She's been published in Marion Bradley's magazine when it was going.
Realms of Fantasy as well for Renee Bennett.
Realms of Fantasy as well. And I know that she's told me she's currently more than halfway through 3 novels.
Just reading them, but
But Renee Bennett may be someone that you'll see particularly in the fantasy. Oh, she writes a really mean psychic detective as well, so you may see.
Speaking of